Okay, I think we made it. We get some gain in this microphone so I can hear myself. There we go. How's everybody doing tonight? I think you made it. If you're with me, I know we got one person in the house. My name is Alejandro, and Station is bringing you the Your Voice talk show tonight, Wednesday night at 7:00, every Sunday at 6. This far, that's what the scheduled time is, anyways. subject to change. We're going to go over some local stuff. We're going to go over some not so local stuff. We're going to cover some national stuff. We're going to tell some jokes. We're going to cover the bee. We're going to be some sarcastic a-holes while we're doing it too. And try and observe some obvious things and ask some questions that need to be asked about some things that are going on in places that shouldn't be going on. So here we are on a Wednesday night doing our thing. And I'm going to try and make it fun. Let me get my spectacles on. We got some different views tonight. Here's camera 1. Camera 2, I got you right there. Camera 3 again for the studio view. We got you a little bit of a different angle. For some reason, that view flips everything. So you can see behind me here. We've got our lovely Your Voice Talk Show logo. There she is right there. Huh? Your voice, is that coming through backwards? Is it backwards here? Are you seeing what I'm seeing? What do you see? What am I seeing? Let's get back to camera 1. Camera 2. Camera 1. Camera 2. Camera 1. Camera 2. All right. Anyways, I got some things I'm going to cover. I hope you got some things you're going to cover. But again, we are here to challenge the status quo, bring out the truth, crack open some lies, and make fun of these people that we give this title to elite. Why are we calling them elite? That's giving away our power. I don't like that. We need to stop titling these people as elite. They're definitely not elite. They definitely need questioning and confronting. Yeah, that's for sure. Right? So I want to debate some of these controversial issues, and not because I know everything, but because I want to learn something. That's what this is all about. I'm trying to educate myself and educate anybody who wants to get involved and hang out and listen and be a part of a discussion and try and do it with some civility and discuss things from a perspective of trying to come to some reasonable conclusions, right? That's what we're doing here. That's what we're all about here. And, that reminds me, I was thinking the other day, Twitter's new CEO, and this is not what I'm going to open with, but it's just a running thought. Twitter's new CEO, I forget her name. Let's find out her name. I want to actually mention her name. Anyways, she said she was quoted at one point in her career, and I know it's not been since she's been, and her history is rather interesting, and I don't know if anybody's interested in that, but we could definitely do a dive into her history and see what that is, because I did do that. I did do some reading, but I didn't do enough to. Okay, because I think Elon is using her for her marketing expertise, and Elon stands by the First Amendment, the freedom of speech, but it needs to be clean. It needs to be really done in a way that progress can be made, and that it's not so progressive. We don't want progressive. We want progress. We don't want Congress. We want progress. I don't know why progress doesn't convene or meet, right? How come progress doesn't meet, but we always get Congress to meet? That's even a pain in the ass. We want to debate politics, the dogmas, right? Let's debate the dogmas. Maybe we can just destroy them and get rid of the stuff that hurts us, And speaking of Twitter, you can find us on Twitter at Your Voice Talks. That's a brand new site for us, and we haven't been at this very long. And we're trying to get it together. And we've got Your Voice Talks at TikTok. Hit us up, start a conversation, send us a message, give us a follow, give us a like, share, hit that share button, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. That's the best way you can support us. You can also donate for our Cash App and PayPal, and you can buy us a coffee from the header on the Station 8 header. There's some links for that. But yeah, trying to go through these subjects with a lot of sarcasm, because I can't help it. It's the only thing I can do to try and stay sane, is kind of laugh about this, all this ignorance. All this ignorance. And a little bit from last week, I'm gonna revisit Mother's Day. Ha 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 ha. But I gotta revisit Mother's Day in some Yo Mama jokes because I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna give you some of your mama jokes tonight. That's what we're gonna do. And we're gonna do some B. I'm not gonna give you a mama joke. You want your mama joke right now? I'm gonna give you one. All right. Uh, Yo mama armpits be so hairy, it looked like she got buckwheat in a headlock. Buckwheat in a headlock. No, I didn't think that was very good. That's an old one for sure. I know, right? That's an old one for sure. But there's a lot more in there. I got a list of 86 of those bad boys, right? And also, this show is brought to you by the First Amendment, and this is what actually kind of brought me to Twitter, and I did give the Twitter reference though. The First Amendment, and what's her name? His new marketing specialist, I guess, says that freedom of speech does not equate to freedom of reach, and that kind of it triggered me. I'll be honest, it kind of triggered me. It kind of triggered me because I thought that was a very like slap in the face kind of statement to the American public who hold this freedom of speech and are, as a right. I mean, you are born with a mouth, and so it's a fundamental right in even just being alive. Forget about being part of a corporation, or you can shove that, right? But it's just a fundamental part of just being alive. Freedom of speech, okay? And if you do it right, yes, it does mean freedom of reach, okay? Because I'm going to tell you right now, I can take my ass out there and go to Woodward and Square Lake, right? And reach 10,000 people an hour without Twitter, without TikTok, without YouTube, right? So that's not necessarily true. And the only thing that I have to do in order to gain the reach, right, is be within the technology, not necessarily a part of it. If you understand where I'm going with that, right? Because there's a lot of public property out there. There's a lot of public property out there where your First Amendment rights should be very well protected, right? Provided that you're out there expressing your rights and expressing your opinion to many people in a respectful way. You got to do it respectfully. You can't be condescending. You can't be insulting. You can't be trying to get people to believe what you believe, right? But that, and I think that whole thing's freedom of speech really does. It's like a free market. It stands on its own, right? It's going to stand on its own, no doubt, because either the majority, and it's like, okay, let's go back to the majority real quick. 3 foxes and 2 chickens decide what's for dinner. The majority will let you know if there's an issue, or if there's a solid fact or belief or something of that nature, in regards to your freedom of speech, right? Like, you'll either be told to shut up or people will start lining up to hear you. It doesn't go any other way. It's like a free market. Like if you've got 2 companies that make donuts, and the one donut is always soggy and the other donut is always fluffy and hot, even if it's a percentage more, you're going to go with that because it makes sense, right? Your freedom of speech works the same way, right? And it's up to the public to decide what that limit or what those limits are as far as sense, nonsense, for each individual to decide for themselves whether that's anything they can subscribe to or just don't want anything to do with. So that's what this show is brought to you by. Thankfully, I got YouTube and some other social media platforms to get me there and help me do what I got to do. Because if I got to go public, I'll go public. And quite honestly, I'm thinking about proving my point when it comes to freedom of speech does not equate to freedom of reach. I'm thinking about proving that's wrong. That's wrong. And I don't even know that I'll be able to count as many people that will see my message to verify that, but I can tell you it's going to be a lot more than what I'm getting out of social media in the fetal stages of my podcast, right? Another thing about all this, let me tell you, you're watching a Station 8 production. You are watching the Your Voice Talk Show on Station 8, YouTube.com. I'm your host, Alejandro, going Wednesday night alone. One of the reasons here, well, I tell you what, let me give you four of the reasons, all right, why at least three of them, anyways, why I started doing this, and I'm gonna tell you because I found out it was helping. Yeah, this is part of my my mental program, part of my therapy, part of I don't know, part of just kind of me trying to keep it together, right? And here's some points that I found, some healthy facts about expressing your opinion here on the Your Voice Talk Show. That assertiveness can help you control stress, anger, and improve coping skills. Well, what do you mean? What does that mean? Assertiveness can help you control stress and anger and improve coping skills. Being assertive is a core communication skill that can help you express yourself effectively and stand up for your point of view while respecting the rights and beliefs of others. Yeah, I agree with that, right? This can help you boost self-esteem and earn others' respect, which can help with stress management, right? Look, I mean, here's a bunch of positive effects here. Like I'm going to be able to go to sleep tonight knowing dang well I got it. I got it off my chest. That's the one thing about dudes is that men go to sleep in a much different way than women do, for sure. So
I've got balls of steel.
well, that weighs us down and keeps us in the bed. That's what it does. But men are able to just kind of shut everything off very easily. We're able to shut it off at the end of the day, and when we realize when we're done, we're done. And this therapy, this healthy aspect of expressing your opinions and thoughts and beliefs, and then becoming challenged, is healthy. It's good for you. Number two, voicing your opinion is good for your mental health. We just talked about that, kind of included in there. If you abstain from expressing your personal opinions out of fear that people will reject or exclude you, you'll stray away from who you really are. Similarly, this can lead to stagnation of a group or a community, where you get a community of people afraid to say something about something they feel is wrong or inappropriate or not working, or how does that then bad things continue? If you're not vocal about it, if you're not expressing your opinion about it, if you're not being healthy about it, right? Being healthy about the situation, get it out there, get that shit off your chest, stop running around like you're mad at the world. We don't deserve you. Get that shit off your chest. Call me and get it off your chest. You want to yell at somebody? Give me a call, right? 313-344-4203. The 420 is there for a reason. And then also, here's the thing about the DNC, right? It also says in here that let me follow this up, because this is where politics in America is headed today, right? And it's so clear. Like it's listen to this. Listen to the end of this reason. It says this can lead to the stagnation. Similar, this can lead to the stagnation of a group or a community. A group can't evolve if all its members agree all the time. You're going to lose the ability to evolve and change, right? That's an echo. That's what they call it. That's the result of having an echo chamber, of living where being in a world where everybody agrees on everything absolutely all the time. Where do you evolve? Without being challenged, without having a reason or to expand your thought on a subject. But I guess in order to do that, you kind of got to be objective and open-minded to begin with, right? So if you're not born being objective and open-minded, it doesn't matter. After that, it's just null and void. The whole process is null and void. If you can't at least be objective to yourself and the world around you, it's all useless at that point. You might as well be an extreme leftist, right? And those are just some of the, having your opinion can bring out your inner confidence. When you have your own opinion, it shows that you have confidence. And then also that, what else? Being able to express your opinion in let's say not a belligerent as in a way that's destructive, but in a way that's commanding, authoritative, and expressing your opinions and thoughts in a way that's intelligent, with passion, right? That's what I mean when I say belligerent. Be belligerent about it. That the confidence right? It's a confidence builder, and it really allows you to. It's a level of freedom. It's hard to explain, you know, but when you stand by your beliefs, you know, and when you stand there until you're proven wrong. See, because you got to allow that to happen too, and know that whatever you believe should be up for challenge in your life. That's how I feel about it. You know, whatever whatever I believe was up for change, right? Because I'm sure there's always somebody that knows better in some ways or knows something different in other ways. I have to go for the coffee over here because that's what we do. Java, we drink the Java. Coffee brought to you by the coffee maker from the people that made the kitchen. Coffee, it's my everyday choice. Um, So let's get into some of the local stoop I'm going to cover. I'm going to cover some Twitter stuff too. Like I saved a couple things on Twitter. I think I might be wanting to talk about some stuff that's been going on in New York and Chicago, and probably going to be happening in some other places. We'll talk about that. But I'll get some local stuff I got saved up for us here. Let me get her out. Get her down. It's been brought to my attention. This will be going into effect pretty soon. And basically, what we got going on here is that, well, the end of May here, so June through September or October, DTE is moving all of its customers to off peak hours, some kind of peak, some time of a new time of day rate. Hey, Detroit Edison, I'm glad your name is off Pine Knob. And then your mama's so fat she gets group insurance. Okay, that's for Edison. They're going to get all the your mama jokes. I also have. We're going to dig through this a little bit just to have some fun. I have a book of dirty jokers. Can you see that? Is that backwards? Can you see that? No. What's going on there? We're reverted. So let me get back over here. Thank you very much. Yeah, so in the initial release, DT Energy is moving to a time of day rate plan at the end of March here, which means electricity costs are going to more or less, depending on when you're using it, apparently, right? So it says peak hours cost more than off-peak hours. So kind of summarize that. Peak hours are 3 p.m. in the afternoon through 7 p.m. in the afternoon or the evening, Monday through Friday, weekdays, right? So from 3 to 7, those 4 hours, you're going to get a cost increase. So if you do things like laundry, dishes, run your air conditioner during peak hours, you'll see how do your hair. Hair dryer is 1,500 watts, man. During peak hours, you'll see how your price is compared to off-peak hours. Obviously, it doesn't say this, but I'm going to tell you it's a per kilowatt hour, right? So no matter what you use, so everything coming through. Some off-grid, here's the thing. Some off-grid technologies now can apply to your home, right? Like it'd be easy to get a small battery bank, and not an inverter, but however, do some 12-volt lighting conversions in the home on a completely different electrical system, low volt electrical system, and do LED lighting in your house that runs off its own solar panels and batteries that, just kind of charge and run light in your house. You don't even need to flip the light, just when you flip a light switch, it'll just turn on a light that's connected to to your battery because there's not much of a variable load on a LED lighting system. It's either on or off, and it draws or it don't. Some of them are variable in the way that you could dim them or add, switch on more or less lighting to the same, feed. But other than that, no, you can get just like they do in RVs and stuff. All that lighting is there's a set of 12-volt lighting for RVs and stuff like that, and all that works fine, doesn't it? Yeah. Well, just imagine you did that with LEDs today. So, anyways, back to those are the off-peak hours are before 3 p.m. and after 7 p.m. weekdays all week. and all weekend long, okay, are off-peak hours. So in the weekend, apparently, this is going to charge you more. So 7 days a week. DT Energy said customers could save money by shifting their energy use to before 3 p.m. Now, who the hell is home before 3 p.m.? Like, I want to do laundry or run my air conditioner until 3 because I don't get home from work till 5 or 6. That's what I want to cook and get things done, man. Is that between, especially in the, but in the winter, what am I going to do? Come on, we're turn the heat up a little bit, maybe. So really, it's just like, this whole program to me just seems like it's, Gina R comes in on the chat. Hey, you got to get, you get to change your own DT hours where you're going to use the most power, where it will cost you at least the amount for you, will cost the least amount for you. I changed mine from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. Right. You can go to the app and change your peak hours. That's great information. I'm coming to find out you can go to the DTE app and change your peak hours. But either way, there's going to be some peak hours, right? That's very interesting. So look into that. We'll see what that's all about. So customers are currently paying. This was in the winter of this year. This was back in late January when this came out. Customers are currently paying between 16.9 and 18.6 cents per kilowatt hour all day, every day. With the new plan, customers will pay 15.45 cents per kilowatt hour during off-peak hours. So it's kind of a give and take. It seems like. I'm sure for some people it'll be worse. Some people not so bad. During peak hours, prices will be 16.75, so 16.75 cents per kilowatt hour from October through May. That's end of May here, and 20.98 cents per kilowatt hour from June through September. So we're starting in June. Peak hours will be 20.98. So we're say if our average, we're going up 4 cents, 4.2 cents per kilowatt hour. It looks like the increase is going to be during peak hours, and then back to the 16.75 on off peak. And what we're trying to reflect from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. is the most expensive time to generate power. Why is that the most expensive time to generate power? Because everybody's going home. So you know what this is, instead of the infrastructure being upgraded, right? We getting told to use less power, so they don't have to invest in something that we're expanding. Like, how is all this expansion and growth supposed to happen? I guess that's probably, they don't want that to happen. Yes.
Brother.
I know, big brother, right? Controlling everything you do. Now they want to control. Now, as it is already, these remote meters, they can shut those. You don't pay the bill. They'll be like digital currency on you. Totally like digital currency. It's just going to be on the flip of a switch, and there's not a lot anybody's going to be able to do about it. Okay, I'm going to tell you that. Unless we kind of get together, but even then it seems like the powers that be, unless you're a corporation in America, you don't have any rights. So, you got to be a big monster corporation. Then the cops will show up right the hell away. The cops will show up right away if you're a business, especially in the city. Represent the city of Detroit here. That's where the Your Voice talk show comes from. We're in the Metro Detroit area. And you can catch us at Your Voice Talks at Twitter. You can catch us at Your Voice Talks on TikTok. Hit us up, leave a comment, hit that like, share, and subscribe for me, please. And then start a topic. But the whole thing is about control and instead of them upgrading the infrastructure is pretty much what this says in the sweetest way. Right, like this is an existential warning, and it was wrapped up in the bow of lawyer speak. The manipulation of words. DT Energy hopes this new plan will help keep the grid balanced by encouraging less energy. So let me guess that in the winter when you need electricity. So yeah, we're talking just electricity. right? When you need electricity, it's more expensive. I mean, it's there's every reason in the book, right? I mean, whatever they want to throw at you here. So ultimately, off-peak hour rates are 14.5 cents per kilowatt hour off-peak compared to the 14.75, which we normally pay now. Before 3 p.m. and after, weekdays and all week long. Peak rate hours 16.75 per kilowatt hour, October through May. July, September. Okay, so in the cold months, it drops down to 16.5, and for cooling season is when it kicks way up, right? So June through September, 20.98. So basically 21 cents per kilowatt hour, which is a nickel per kilowatt hour, essentially. It's going to feel like it. And that's from 3 p.m. until 7 p.m. in the evenings when you have everything going on at your house. So again, instead of upgrading the infrastructure, we're going to manipulate what you do and put you at the other end of a switch. That way, if you don't agree, and I just have to say, when was the last time they signed your contract? That's what's going on in America here, man. You're signing their contract, right? Like the law says, well, if you don't say we can't, then it's legal. That's the biggest ignorant. Yep. Oh, if you don't know about us lawyers, then that's your issue. You need to research what we put on paper for all of you to have to follow. What the hell is kind of setup is that? Who gave these assholes permission to do that? Anyways, that's that story. It's going up for sure, especially during certain times. Is going to be huge. 4 hours a day, they're going to add nickel a kilowatt hour for every kilowatt hour you use. Okay, it's going to cost you another nickel, just about. That's pretty much the breakdown, and that's going to be from July through September, and then 16.75 cents from or from July through September, and then from October through May, so June through October, July through October, 16.75 cents a kilowatt hour. So they're manipulating. We're gonna have to do some math, see how that works out for us. I don't know. All right, let's move on. I'll give you the studio view there. Let's move on to some more local stuff here. That some kind reporting people have been good enough. I got something from the National File here, right? It says, I haven't done too much, and I don't want to quote National File. I'm going to just kind of tell you what they told me. And this is a National File paper, and this is by Charles Downs. This came out in April 19th, so about a month ago, okay, within the past 4 weeks. According to them, for some reason, Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer is under investigation for CCP Taliban business deals, and nobody seems to be. How come I haven't heard this? And you know what? I did. I came across this in an odd way, and then I went to look it all up. You were watching your voice talk show on Station A on YouTube. Went to look it all up, and I couldn't find anything other than this one article. It kind of blew my mind about the whole deal here, I wasn't sure. But anyways, Gretchen Whitmer is being investigated for working with America's enemies, right? Michigan State Senators Lana Theus, Ed McBroom, Joe Bellino, Dan Lawyers, and Kevin Daly announced Tuesday that they are investigating Michigan's Governor Gretchen Whitmer's deal with Goshen after it was revealed that the battery manufacturing company has close ties with the Taliban, right, and the Chinese Communist Party. Don't make it sound so bohemian. Whitmer's deal with the company says that the state of Michigan will provide Goshen with the state taxpayer dollars in exchange for Goshen to build a plant. In Michigan, of course, an agricultural territory, right? So when the battery plant has to, move out of town because there's, new facility, all of a sudden probably some agriculture is going to be moving in there, right? You guys heard about the You guys, we're going to cover some of that too here. I might get us there for that, right? So to continue on with this, release Tuesday. Obviously, this was April 19th, Tuesday. Prior to that, Michigan State Senator, three Michigan State, one, two, three, four, five Michigan State senators are asking federal lawmakers for help in probe writing. We are writing to urge you to use all federal resources available to immediately investigate whether Goshen High. Well, you know what that's like? That's like, you know, it's like calling the enemy and tell them, hey, can you help us investigate you? Because see, I think the one thing people are missing in this whole thing is like, see, there's a chain of command in this country, obviously. What do you think we have these state reps that go down to Washington, like Elisa Slotkin, right? She spent a lot of years as a particular type of CAA operative within our military in Afghanistan, right? But yeah, here she is in Washington, communicating with the governor, taking information, down to the bottom, let's say, right? It's kind of how I feel about that meeting where Whitmer, went to Washington under the guise of, hey, Joe, can I be your VP? I don't think that was the case. I think what happened was Whitmer got to land in the country of DC, right? Relative to the Vatican and London. It got to land in the country of DC, got promptly escorted to her limousine to an undisclosed location on some government property where some Yahoo in a black suit and aviator glasses dipped in, issued instructions and warnings, dipped out. Joe dips in. They lean, take a picture. Bye-bye. I don't know. Does that ring a bell? What do you think? So if you got any comments on that, give us a call. 313-334-4203 here at the Your Voice Talk Show on YouTube, Station 8. My name is Alejandro. We've got the rock and roll blues rolling in the back here. But anyways, that's that whole thing. I'm not going to get much deeper into that. This whole thing is still unfolding in a lot of ways. So I don't know where to go with that one. That's going to develop, and I hear a lot of things about. There's a Chinese representative in Chicago that comes to Michigan and negotiates farming and agricultural deals here in Michigan as well too, because we got water, we got farmland, and it's just getting sold. I don't, how do you feel about that as a Michigan resident? 313-334-4203. Hit me up. Let's talk about it. Anyways, let's go on to another one. Oh gosh. I don't even want to get into former CIA acting director Michael Morrell interfered in the 2016-2020 elections. Yeah, it's a big discussion, but we're going to keep this local still. Just yesterday in Ann Arbor, a bullet was found lodged in the pillow after piercing the exterior of an Ann Arbor home. That's some Detroit shit, man. Why you doing Ann Arbor doing that? Why you Ann Arbor do that? May 16th, yesterday, Ann Arbor. The Ann Arbor Police Department is investigating after an Ann Arbor resident called to report a hole in the siding of her home. Ann Arbor. They're probably selling pot through that hole. Using a nap, get payment, and just go right in your room, just suck your pot out the hole. Here, man, hit it from outside. Approximately 2:30 p.m. April 14th, officers responded to a call about potential shots fired to the 2000 block of Dundee Drive. That's probably right up against the Buddy Ipsy. A woman said that the hole led her daughter's second floor bedroom, and she discovered damage to the headboard of the bed in Ann Arbor. Man, Detroit was ranked number 3 at the end of Q4 last year for a reason, huh? People in Ann Arbor getting bullets in the headboard. What about that? Upon arrival, officers discovered a bullet that had been lodged in the child's pillow. Officers determined that the bullet struck the exterior of the home, passed through the wall to the child's bedroom on the second floor. So from outside, it came through the headboard and stopped at the pillow. The homeowner said she did not hear any gunfire overnight. She reported that he only noticed the hole while making her daughter's bed later that day. The child was not harmed in the incident. Yikes. 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 Here's one for us. Also yesterday, right? 2 men charged with stealing frozen fish in Warren. You know, is that going to be the idiot criminal of the day here? Stealing frozen fish in Warren. You better get that sold quick, huh? You buy, we fry. You buy, we fry. My friend, you buy, we fry. EBT, you buy, we fry. You got to use the EBT and the you buy, we fry.
Daddy, chill.
I'm trying. I need to sell you buy, we fry.
Dumb ways to die.
I love this
So
song.
many dumb ways to die.
If you don't pay for your we buy, we fry fish,
Dumb ways to die. So
that's how that
dumb ways to die.
you don't pay for your frozen.
Got a psycho killer inside.
There we go. That's a little bit too loud for me. Let's carry on with this absurdity. Okay. Stealing frozen fish. 2 men charged with stealing frozen fish from Lipari Foods in Warren. Does that ring a bell? The theft occurred Wednesday, May 11th. An employee, Aaron Wilson, 30, loaded stolen frozen fish from the Lipari Foods warehouse in the Cadillac Escalade. Dang, dude, you're driving an Escalade, and here you are stealing fish. Maybe that's why you're driving an Escalade. Is a fish paying for your ride? A Warren police officer stopped the Escalade owned and driven by Michael Mitchell, 50, and found the stolen frozen fish. 30-year-old is being charged with embezzlement, less than $100,000, 15-year felony. Whoa. 15-year felony. Man, I wonder if that was 1,000 or under. He must have thousands of dollars in fish. Yeah, an act that not only violates the law, but affects the business owners and employees. Man, Mitchell is charged with receiving and stealing stolen property more than 1,000, less than 20. Okay, that's a little bit better. Bond was set for Mitchell at 25,000. His probable cause hearing is scheduled for Thursday, May 23rd at 8:45 p.m. We should all show up and go call him an idiot, right? We should shame his ass. And you know, you want guys like this to stop doing dumb shit. Get him out there and shame him. You know. In response to earlier, start up your grill and your fire pit and shut everything in the house off but the refrigerator and put your clothes on a line. Yeah, I totally agree with that. For sure. That's called farm home, eat seasonal, trade local. Anyways, Wilson's bond was set at $20,000 cash with 10%, and his probable cause hearing is also scheduled. So he's busy by association, just being the driver. Oh, yeah. See, we got... no, I'm not going there with that one. What else we got here? Oh, this seems to be a pretty recent hot topic, right, going on in Detroit. If you're familiar with the Detroit area. I think I got several articles here on this because I got a lot of hits, man. I was really not too... camera one. Really not too happy with how that went, you know? Simply for the fact that it's just kind of like, oh, other way. Can't tell too. There have been like these cops in Detroit out here just running rampant, shooting everyone's dogs, according to this story, right? Let's read into this a little bit because it's kind of unnerving for me. Like, how heartless do you got to be to come at someone's dog before you even come at them? You know, I mean, think about that. You might as well be, you know, a transgender woman competing in collegiate sports in the female team, you know, stealing that too. You might as well, because it's the same type of person that does that type of thing, right? Like you're just a piece of shit. You know, I could see if, you know, you're doing what do you do about that? The law says that dogs are property. Although we all know that our dogs are family members. What a conflict. What is that designed to be divisive? You know what I'm saying? Are they doing that to the cops and us? How does that work? It's so stupid. You know, either the dog's got to start being recognized as. I haven't even started to read the story yet because this shit gets under my nerves so bad. It's senseless, and it just only proves that the people that do this, I don't think, no matter what laws, they're just looking for a reason to be a shitty person. You know, and yeah, though you got a lot of shitty blue line people out there on every level. Oh, that's a culture, man. That's a subculture. You know, buddy, here we are crying about these FBI fakes marching down with DC when we got these federally protected agents running all over the place with a qualified immunity. Says who? Who authorized that? Good God. I just going nuts here. Anyways, the number of dogs shot and killed by Detroit police officers has steadily increased over the last 3 years, right? Over the last 3 years. In 2020, Detroit police killed 14 dogs. Okay. Considering what happens in Detroit being number 3 in Q22, in 2021, Detroit police killed 25 dogs. Okay, so you know that's almost 100% jump. Okay, from so COVID. In 22, Detroit police. So Detroit police killed 35 dogs in 22. Right. So in 2020 they killed 14. In 21 they killed 25. In 22 they killed 35. You know, so this is going up by 30%, 40% every year. Okay, that's a total of 74 dogs in those past 3 years. Right, 2022, the ending of that. Right, total of 74 dogs. How much of that is justified and reasonable? Because we know some of these dogs that are raised in Detroit are raised like a lot of the kids are raised in Detroit. I'm surprised they ain't out there breaking down on these CVSs, man. Like I caught one guy today, manager chasing him out because he's in there trying to fill a bag. Anyway, some dogs are shot on their own property, usually when police are searching for something or chasing a suspect. Like if you're cutting through my yard, you shoot my dog, man. I'm telling you. How is that How is that qualified immunity? How is it justifiable? How can you settle with that? Good God. I'm going to keep the rest of that to myself. Are usually when police are searching for someone or chasing a suspect. But many times police officers come in contact with loose dogs on the street, which is also understandable. Now, if you've got a dog that comes with the stigma of being aggressive or being, not the friendly one, these type of things, then I think there's something to be said about that. There's something to be said about being justified. I'm dipping out. Give me a second.
It's Brittany, bitch.
I'm back. My name's not Brittany. I can't even see over there with this set of eyes, and I can't see over there with the other side either. Okay, so that happens. You're running through somebody else's yard, you shoot their dog. Oh my God. What else are you going to do, though, as a police officer trying to apprehend a suspect before he gets away? You're going to let him chew all over your leg as you're trespassing? You're shooting a dog. You're damaging my property in commission of a crime. But qualified immunity. Jim Freeman and his team volunteers to help protect dogs that are chained. That's an acronym for something. One of several nonprofits trying to make Detroit better for dogs, like Snoop Dogg primarily. Mistreated dogs are often confined to change, and they would very quickly develop behavioral problem. Well, yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. And this is one of the things I've been saying about dogs here in Detroit area is that, a lot of these dogs are raised to be absolute idiots. And it reflects in the handling. Other people have some of the greatest dogs. Some of the more vicious breeds that the most thing that's vicious about them is the way they shed hair and lick your ass clean, right? I can tell you, I know some pit bulls that are the most loving, caring, respectful dogs, and that's because they were trained and raised that way, and that's the set of expectations that they're allowed to operate within, is to match those expectations. And it's not very difficult to get a canine to understand this, and this is one of the primary reasons why they're used in military settings, right? Because they're trainable, they're intelligent, they respond, they know their position in the situation and fulfill that, accept it, right? So this is why they shoot them, because they're lethal. and can be lethal. And then, of course, backed by that, you're going to be an asshole. Some of these guys too. But it's illegal to chain your dog in Detroit for more than 3 hours at a time. Despite the ordinance, some dog owners chain their dogs all day, right? Detroit Animal Control said they can't enforce the chaining law because it means animal control officers would have to sit and watch a dog on the chain for 3 hours. Right. There have been 250 citations given so far for this year for dog owners, and that's 23. Animal Control also said many times citations are ignored, nothing changes, of course. So that's one of the things going on here in Detroit. One of the topics that is being covered by more than one publication. That's for sure. Again, here we've got NBC reporting on the 74 dogs in this whole report. It's pretty consistent. All this coming out yesterday. And being consistent, we've got in an online conversation, we have a person that says, I used to be a vet tech, and if a dog is bearing down on you and an officer has no recourse but to shoot it. I love the animals, but there are people out there who have no confidence and they get afraid of their own shadow. They get these dogs and train them to be vicious. It was done with Derby Shepherds, Doberman, other breeds that naturally scare people. So that's a good point I just made myself. People are training these dogs. They're not training to be the animals that are expected to work. They're not giving them the boundaries to operate within that allows the growth of this animal and its disposition in a way that is nurturing to the family that it serves, right? Because you got to understand some stuff about these breeds and how they think differently, right? For instance, like a pit bull does not belong to a family, right? You got to understand that a pit bull, that's his family. You belong to him. They're very possessive, protective critters, especially if you're a member of the pack. So again, like I said, the Detroit dog shooting thing up to the end of between 21 and 22, 20, 21 and 22, 74 dogs were shot in the city of Detroit, a lot of them strays. And that says a lot about the people that are handling these dogs and attempting to be responsible for them or not being responsible for them. I don't understand where that perspective is. However, we got another story here in Oakland County. This guy yesterday, right? You're not going to believe this. I'll be the first guy to question the law and give the law a hard time. But again, like here on the talk show, I like to do things respectfully with a level of intellect and in a way that we can have a constructive conversation without letting our feelings get in the way of progress, not progress, and not being progressive either, but actual tangible thoughts that form conclusions and solutions, right? On the Your Voice Talk Show here on Station 8. You're watching me on YouTube. Catch us on Twitter. Start a conversation with us on Twitter at Your Voice Talks. Make your way over to TikTok and tell us how bad we're doing tonight or how bad we're not doing tonight and where everything is at tonight. Also at Your Voice Talks on TikTok. You can check us out on the web, www. And no, nothing to do with the W Bushes. Yourvoicetalks.com, yourvoicetalkshow.com. Sorry there. Anyways, back to this story. Okay, we're gonna go take a sip of coffee, and then we're going to get to the Oakland County man who threatens judge who sentenced him, replaces her name with obscenities, which I do. Like if I'm typing on stories, I always use the parentheses vulgar context or vulgarity. I never say any nasty words. I just say the word vulgarity and put it in parentheses throughout my comment, which passes everything. So anybody's algorithm sorting out things, like I'll leave it up to you to insert the vulgarity. I'll just let you know that's what I did, was insert a vulgarity there, right? A lot of my commenting and stuff like that, which I find kind of entertaining. In a couple of responses I have also found those kind of things entertaining as well too. I just it makes me giggle when, because it makes you think. It's a weird tactic, but it will make you think even at that low level. And that is some low level thinking. However, it's a blast. It's a lot of fun sometimes to just, throw poop back at the monkey, right? That's what I'm saying. I like to throw poop back at the monkey. So this is a story by Derek Hutchinson, lead legal editor. This was published yesterday. tags are Oakland County and White Lake. If you are out by White Lake, anywhere by any of the lakes out here in Oakland County, give us a call, 313-334-4203. Don't be afraid. Use your voice. Say it. Say what you're thinking. Give me a call because I'm going to say it too. I'll say it with you. We'll say it together, or we'll debate it. White Lake, Michigan, an Oakland County man who is currently serving time in prison is facing a new trial after already being sentenced for a trial. He wrote a threatening letter to the judge he even wrote this shit. Like, there's intent, right? To the judge who sentenced him. And he sent her some sentences. He did some sentencing of his own, did he? Right? He totally did some sentencing of his own. He's like, let me construct some sentences with some obscenities and vulgarities and send this to the judge that created sentences for me. Okay. So anyways, replaced her name with obscenities officials. What was this judge? Oh man. What was this judge's name? Christopher Michaels Schenberger, 43 of White Lake, is currently serving a sentence of 75 to 180 months at the Carson City Correctional Facility for criminal sexual conduct charges stemming from a 2014 case. Shit. From a 2014 case, I feel like I was denied due process. From 2014? He received his sentence from an Ingham County Circuit Court Judge, Joyce Dragonchuk. Oh, I'm not even going to go there. Her name was Judge Joyce, Draganch Dragonchuk. On September 14, 2016. On December 2021, Scherberger sent a letter to Dragonchuk complaining about the possibility he might be denied parole and failing to complete requirements of the sex offender program in prison. So, yeah. The letter addressed Dragonchuk by using obscenities in place of her full name according to authorities. Scherberger wrote that if he was forced to serve the maximum sentence, he would put the names of everyone on the docket on slips of paper, put those slips into a jar and draw one out. Whoever's name he drew from the jar would be killed and threatened, officials said. Wow. So it's kind of like you win or lose the lottery drawing, right? We got to see the owners are lethal. Oh, this is in regard to the dog story. The owners are lethal and they are the ones that should be shot. Well, I can't condone shooting them. In probably in most scenarios. However, I would say probably in a lot of other scenarios, there's such a level of neglect going on that I'd have a hard time arguing against. The dog should have legal tags on them or radio, put an iPod tag on them, right? So you know where the hell they're at. Secondly, as a backup procedure, however, your primary procedure should be ensuring that your property is adequate to keeping your loved one within control, reach, and manageability, right? That is the owner's responsibility. Keep your dog on your property, keep your dog on your leash, keep your dog educated, keep your dog under control, keep your dog healthy, keep your dog exercise. Don't leave them in the heat. Don't leave them in the cold, right? Scratch their butt every now and then. You'll be amazed what you get out of a dog besides some aggressive fighting out to stroke your own ego. That's pathetic. Yeah, you have to go to your city and get the tags for your dog every year. And that's a pain in the ass. And it's just another way for them to steal your money, right? I'll get a dog. I'm not tagging my dog with anybody. I'll get a radio chip so I can track it if something stupid happens. But I've never had that problem with any of my dogs. So anyways, that was a comment we got over the chat. And this Oakland County man is in deep, deep trouble for literally threatening the life of a judge and calling her whatever you could make out of Dragonchuk. That makes me want to do some Rob Zombie. It's got Rob Zombie bites to a Dragonchuk. My Dragonchuk. Another story out of Detroit here. 27-year-old man arrested after firing a rifle at St. Clair County deputies. He got arrested? You mean there's not an obituary on that one? Obituary, because bitch you hairy. Yeah, Riley Township. A 27-year-old man was arrested after firing a rifle. Wow, he's probably. Yeah, see, that's why they like that bolt action shit, huh? There's your God damn, come on, man. Here's your hunting rifle. That's bolt action. Why is that? That's probably the only reason why he lived. They drew down on him so fast. They probably made him dance. You know, that's, you know what, kudos, hats off to these guys out here in Riley Township, right? You know, these St. Clair County deputies arrested the guy. Officials were called Monday evening to a home Riley Township for a welfare check on a 27-year-old man. This guy might have problems. Coworkers told authorities that they were worried about the man because he had made suicidal statements. So they want, you know, the guy's like, I want to kill myself. They're like, oh, dude, go home and sleep it off. You better go check. When deputies arrived, they saw a man walking out of his garage with a rifle slung over his shoulder. He pointed the rifle toward the deputies and fired at least one shot. Officials said nobody was injured and deputies didn't return fire. The man eventually spoke to authorities over the phone and was taken into custody. He was brought to St. Clair County Jail. See, that worked out good. Good job. Good job, St. Clair guys. Man, hats off to the Blue Line in St. Clair. Like, that's an awesome story. That's a good deal. Again, you are watching the Your Voice Talk Show. Hit us up. I'm your host, Alejandro. Hit us up on Twitter at Your Voice Talks. You can find us there. Start a conversation, bring a topic, tell us how good we're doing, tell us how bad we're doing, tell us how we can grow, give us some tips and pointers of what you'd like to see or hear from us. And you can find us on TikTok. Also at Your Voice Talks at TikTok. Also, we have we're building a website that is up and functioning with a merch store. That is www, because I like saying it, yourvoicetalkshow.com. Hit us up. Send a comment to us. Start a topic there as well, too. Maybe pick up a T-shirt. They're pretty cheap. Got a cute little, you got our Your Voice logo on them. You can get some notepads there. We got a few things up in there. I have to see what we got. But yeah, we got a nice canvas tote bag in there with the Your Voice peace sign logo. I don't know if you guys seen that. Let me see if I can get that up here for you real quick. Let's see what we got. Your Voice. Where did it go? Oh, here it is. I'll bring that Your Voice. Here is our peace and love logo. I'll bring it to you on camera 4. There you go. We got handbags. We've got notepads, all in that logo. You see, we got a few going on down here that you can get in here, you know, and I think that's pretty cool. I liked it. I like that logo actually myself right there. Took me a little while. I made that myself along with the original Your Voice logo there, as you can see at the bottom, and several little styles. Maybe we can run through those since you're here. So we got the OG logo. We got the with the green and some yellow accents, and then we've got the peace and love and flowers logo going on there. So check out the merch store at yourvoicetalkshow.com. Click the link. Send us an email. Add comments to yourvoicetalkshow.com. Get back to studio view right up there. I see you. You see me. Come on in and say something. Pick up the phone lines. Give us a call, 313-334-4203, and let's discuss something. Let's talk about what's on your mind, what's not on your mind, or anything like that. A lot of things we could talk about today. I'm going to continue moving through some of these stories I got tagged. And over here we've got let's see, got a couple of reports. I saved my sidebar here on CBS. 4 people arrested for giving children THC gummies, exploiting them for pornography in Genesee County, and this was yesterday. Yeah, that's here in Michigan. I know, right? The Michigan state news is pretty bad lately, isn't it? Like even last week, man, all the dead people and burning cars in Detroit. Oh, what the hell is going dead? We got freeway, some neighborhood. It's crazy. And now we got 4 people arrested for children gummies, exploiting them for pornography in Genesee County. And speaking of exploiting the children for pornography here in Michigan, I don't know if anybody's seen the latest and greatest on the government Biden cell phone migration movement. Like you can see how these people are getting rides up the freeways, major arteries to all over Texas, Nevada, Arizona, California, Chicago, Detroit, Oklahoma, Dakota area seems to be getting quite a few. Um, New York, all along the eastern seaboard, and was Florida, right? Like it was Florida. So unless you can live with somebody there for free, basically, you're not working in Florida. And there's a mass exodus right now in Florida, and all the farming in Florida is going to come to a halt. All the roofing in Florida is going to come to a halt. All the driveways, all the lawn cutting, all the housekeeping, all coming to a halt. Yep. But anyways, let's get back to Genesee County. So I'm just saying that this thing could be like Michigan is big for human trafficking as well too. Okay. Let's get into this story. Let's find the meat of this pig in here somewhere because this is disturbing. Genesee County, Michigan. 4 people were arrested in Genesee County yesterday, accused of taking part in a scheme that involved giving children THC gummies and exploiting them for pornography. Genesee County Sheriff Christopher Swanson says that in the winter of 2022, Homeland Security officials learned child pornography was sent to the home of Preston Allen Foster Creed Boehm. That's a long name. He's got 5 words there. 36. He's 36 and in Grand Blanc Township, which is not too far from where I'm at now, where I reside now. Investigators discovered additional people collecting pornography and trading material with Creed Boehm as the distributor. And here's the 4 people charged, right? So Swanson says the investigation expanded to Burton on December 22nd. Arrested 3 other people. Crystal Ann Breton, 42, Nicholas Allen Dunn, 41, and Joshua Buren Hispensteel, 45. Okay, I'm gonna drag these homies over here. Get this over here. And let's see if we can get. May not be working out too well. I was hoping to drag that over there. Get everybody a photo so you can see these people look like they're just methed out and they're methed up. They're totally methed up. Where'd you go? Got to get my mouse back in here. So that's the latest and greatest in the Grand Blanc area. 4 children, 14, 10, and 5 were sexually assaulted according to authorities. The investigation revealed the crimes began in 2018. Well, I hope they haven't known that since 2018. Yeah, this was in Burton, Michigan. Investigators believe the Burton home was used as an epicenter of all the manufacturing with Grand Blanc Township home used for distribution. They exploited the children, they groomed them, they drugged them, they exploited them, they monetized their sexual act, he said. So I'm not going to read any more of that, but yeah, let me tell you, that's going to bring me something else here, right? I'm going to tell you that the American family is under attack, plain and simple, because when it starts to be okay to let these things go on for years or remove your kids from school for people that haven't even earned the right to be in a school here, or when you start to indoctrinate children into homosexuality, and when you like not releasing the Epstein's list, like this is all connected. I'm surprised there's not a story normalizing these actions out here today from some other extreme side of any line, right? Like that's just blowing my mind. I bet if I looked for it, I could find it. I bet you I could find somebody normalizing this, right? Because it sure seems to be a lot of the ways that things are going today. So there's that. So we got 4 arrested here in the Grand Blanc Burton area. I'm not going to cover any more of that story because it's already disgusting enough as it is, right? Anyways, let's break up that monotony. What do you say about that? I'm going to hit my coffee over here. Got a little bit of little bumpy going in the back. What do you think about that music? It's kind of fun to talk over, have it lingering back there, set the mood. You know, we don't want to be down. And that's where we're going to take a break. We're going to revisit last week here for a second while we step out of the spotlight and some of the news and some of the stories I found absolutely disturbing. And they should be some of these stories. I just, you should be reasons for anybody get your head out of the sand. Like these are red flags. These are alarms for your country. These are alarms for society, right? Just going through the news, you can see how, as Obama once said, just flood a town square with sewerage, and nobody will be able to decipher what's right or what's wrong. But I'm gonna tell you right now, you do not need the big media, the corporations, the propaganda they produce, the lies they produce, the twists, the spins, the perspectives, the opinions, the angles, because I think that I think most people have a cognitive ability. I think most people can observe the obvious and see what's actually okay. If you're going to tell me that this is a birthday party, don't invite me to a building that's totally empty. Okay? You can't have a birthday party without cake. I guess it's kind of my point, right? Calling it, trying to make some sense of it. But so we're going to revisit some Yo Mama jokes from last week. I think we're going to go with the Mama Dumb Do. My Mama Dummy jokes, which is no fun, but we're going to do it anyways. Let's see. Yo Mama so dumb she cooked her own complimentary breakfast. Shit. I'm not getting a lot of laughs out of that one either, right? I got a collection of these from last weck. So, your mama's so dumb she thought Twitter was a social media for birds. In a lot of ways, it can be social media for birds, right? Yeah, your mama's so fat. When she went to KFC, the cashier asked what size bucket she wanted. She said, the one on the roof. Oh, hey, here's an Eddie Murphy one. Your mama's so big, her belt size is equator. Right? I'm not getting many laughs at those, man. Yo Mama jokes used to be good. You got to get through these, but see, you got to understand. I've been through so many Your Mama jokes, and none of these are really funny to me anymore because it already makes sense. I get it, right? I'm at the I get it stage of Yo Mama jokes. Your mama's so stupid. When I said drinks are on the house, she got a ladder. Where'd she get that from? Mama brought a ladder? Did Mama bring a ladder to this joke? That's funny. And then we'll take a minute here. We're in the hour 13. We got about another 45 to go tonight. I'm going to cover a couple of dirty jokes. I'm just going to randomly, you can't see that. Let me get you on camera one. Backwards. Dirty jokes. I'm just going to randomly pick one. I'm just going to kind of pop the book open and go right here. All right. We got about 2 paragraphs here. Sloan. Oh, I think we have. Give me 1 second. I think we have. The famous stage magician had a thundering climax to his act. He would fill a large bowl with shit and proceed to slurp it noisily to the amazement and delight of the audience. This is going to be a joke, huh? Yikes. I think it sounds pretty appropriate with all the confusion we have going on today, right? One evening, he had just begun the wow finish of the act when he stopped in his tracks. Go ahead, murmured the stage manager. Eat shit. Eat it. Can't do it, said the magician. There's a hair in it. Yikes. 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 Maestro the magician. Here's a short one. A guy had a male cat fixed because he was menace to the neighborhood, sneaking out at night and impregnating all the neighbors' female cats. And Tom still sneaks out at night, but now he acts as a consultant. Whatever that means. Being ballless. That's a couple dirty jokes for the evening. That wasn't much fun. I wasn't surprised by the random dirty jokes. They were pretty clean. Like that was almost like PG level dirty jokes, right? I don't know how you consider that a dirty joke. About a castrated feline out acting as a coach to the player. All right. Sip of the coffee. We're gonna get to a couple of bee stories here. That's right. I like reading the bee. If you're familiar with the bee, you might find these entertaining. I'm gonna step away from the heavy duty stuff, right? Let's see what we're doing here. Oh, we got one from the bee. Hey, in case you guys were wondering, right? Since the men go their own way movement, and since men have decided to do their own thing these days and kind of getting back on stepping away from dating, and kind of just learning the values of kind of being at your prime, your most productive, your most your best financial performance. Most of you guys have worked hard to get there. Unlike these ladies who are born with the gift of pulling men because they can, and because dudes and penis. Men, however, can't do that, right? Women will sleep with women. Men can only sleep with certain women, but men will decide who gets married. Okay, and then when a man is in his prime. Now, at this time, can be pretty lonely, especially for these dudes that are going their own way. I could see porn being a struggle for some of you dudes, right? But here's 10 life hacks to help you stop looking at porn. This is brought to me by the Babylon Bee, and I'm just going to repeat it to you. On the 15th, they wrote this. Hey, are you struggling with porn addiction? No, not good. We certainly wouldn't know anything about that. We've never looked at porn, not even one time. Since we are experts at never, ever, ever looking at porn, we have compiled a list of 10 life hacks that are sure to help you overcome the pesky habit in no time. Here's what you can do. 1, gouge out your eyeballs. If you want to stop looking at porn, you can't go wrong with the classic biblical approach of gouging your eyebrows. Your eyeballs, not your eyebrows. You might want to save your eyebrows and put them where your eyeballs used to be when you get that sewed shut. Right, and for the lady, that's another thing you do. Sew it shut, let it heal up and air over. Okay, number 2, hang your frame picture of Matt Walsh next to your computer if you're using a computer. Rumor has it some of you guys might even be using your phone. They're little mobile computers. All right, his stern, disapproving stare will have you back on the straight and narrow in no time. Yeah, Matt Walsh would turn me off too. I'd be thinking twice. Number 3, quit your job as a public school librarian. Those libraries are chock full of porn, and not to mention some other things our kids shouldn't be reading. Get out of there as soon as possible. Put your computer in a more public space, like the 3rd lane of the 405 freeway. Accountability, right? That's gonna get you out of porn. Make yourself accountable to others, and share your browsing history. Leave Earth and go to Mars. Yeah, they don't have porn there yet, but how America is. Our space, NASA, actually is supposed to be spelled nasty, right? National Aeronautics, sexual, transmissions. Hire your own crier to follow you around loudly, announce wherever you look at porn. Hear ye. Right? Shame. That's number 6. Number 7, make a vow to yourself that this is the last time. That always works. So we know that always works, right? How could you even recommend that? We know that always works, right? Yeah, right. It works for you guys, but not for me. Yeah. Install an app on your phone that turns every face on the screen into Rachel Levine. That's highly effective, right? That'll do it, man. Nothing like a bad face to get you turned off to wanking your own weenie, Yeah, don't laugh. Everybody does it. All right, you can smash your phone, then run it over with the car, and then throw that in the trash. Right? You can do that. And then burn it in the trash can. That might help. Get rid of your phone. Get rid of computer. Imagine God sees you looking at porn. Oh, wait, he does. Repent. I like to do it. If I think I'm being watched by a ghost, I'm jacking off. I just go over to the corner and go, this is for you. And then they usually leave me alone. Yeah. That's the way they roll, though. So you can't. Those ghosts and evil spirits aren't going to stick around if you're jacking off in the corner for them, right? So if you're afraid there's something under your bed, Go jack off in the corner. If you're afraid there's something in your closet, go jack off in the corner. How hard can it be? They don't want to see that. That's how you get rid of evil spirits. Get in the corner and go, this is for you. Anyways, that's the information. That's the best tips and tricks from the bee on how to get unaddicted to porn. If you have a problem with porn addiction, stop looking at the shit, right? Morgan Freeman would say, just drop it. Stop using it. Stop talking about it. Put it away. Oh, hey, this is finally on the 15th, and this is true. I don't know if this is funny or true, but it happens to be actually a fact. This is not fake news I can trust. This is a real news that makes sense, is what it is, right? Wait till you hear this one. If you haven't seen it already, it's a couple of days back, but Biden finally draws a larger crowd than Donald Trump. That's right. And when did he do that? When Title 42 ended. I've never seen such a Biden performance, right? Like, people were clamoring. I bet by the amount of people that lined up on the border for Biden, put our girl, right? What's her name? She just had a concert sell out here. What's her name? Oh my gosh, she's the girl that hates all the boys. Oh, hey, we guess who we got? We got. It looks like we got Mikey Mike on the line.
Oh my God! Am I on the air?
Oh my God, Mike, are you on the air with me, Michael?
Oh my God! I've always wanted to be on an air of a talk show.
Well, you're on the air now. We were just talking about how Biden drew a larger Trump crowd than Trump, man.
What are you guys talking about?
I was just talking about the story. Biden finally draws a larger crowd than Trump. Yeah, I found that pretty cool for him, man. I'm happy for Joe Biden is able to finally do that. How are you doing tonight, man? What's going on with you on a Wednesday night in Metro City?
Oh, I'm just out here cruising around the city. I figured I'd, give you a shout while I'm driving around town.
Oh, so we have Mike on the road in Metro Detroit today. How's traffic out there, Mike? Too bad you're not a hot redhead.
Uneventful, really. I mean, it's 8:30 at night. All the assholes are finally home.
Oh my God, right?
I think we should call this segment "Cruising with Mike." What do you think?
Cruising with Mike. I like that. Everybody, you're listening to Alex and Cruising with Mike and the Dingo on YourVoiceTalkShow.com. Hit us up at Twitter at Your Voice Talks, and also on TikTok at Your Voice Talks. So yeah, cruising around with Mike. So what's going on, man? How's local radio treating you? Obviously, it looks like a cooler, but still a nice evening out there. You obviously
it's beautiful out here. Everybody's out there walking their dogs, and I haven't gotten out to crash it yet. I'm sure people are driving like assholes out here, but I'll tell you that in about 10 seconds.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, you get out into Gratiot area, and no matter where you're at, from Detroit to Port Gratiot, you're going to encounter huge groups of those. You're driving around the metro. It's like driving down. If you haven't heard about 275, I mean, it's 80 or nothing. I don't care if it's posted 65 and under construction with 4 lanes, down to 1. You better be doing 80 because somebody else is going to want to be doing 90.
275 is the Autobahn here in the Detroit area.
That sure is. We got a comment from Gina R tonight. I know your mama. I was going back on the your mama jokes. Yeah. So yeah, we have the same mom. I don't know if that's a good thing.
Your mama is like a basketball hoop. I bounce that bitch every chance I get.
Whoa, coming down on the moms tonight. That's right. They had their day. It's time to get them back, right? We went through a lot for you guys too, moms. Don't forget. Us dads went through a lot too. So we're gonna get our shining day here by telling some yo mama jokes. I was at McDonald's today for lunch, man. And when I walked up, I thought your mama was handing out her phone number. She's just ordering meal combos, like give me a 3, 2, 1, a 4, a 2, a 7, and a 7. And I was like, is that your phone number? Yeah, we know.
Ain't giving you her phone number. She's just hungry.
Oh, she was hungry enough to eat a phone number's worth of Happy Meals. She was also ugly, man. Your mom was so ugly she made a blind kid cry. Oh my God, I know, right? So
people,
people,
that, did you hear a few weeks ago? I think what the hell is his name? The famous flying singer, not Ray Charles, but Stevie Wonder.
Stevie Wonder.
I think he dumped his girlfriend or something like that.
Monster kill.
Wow.
Kill.
He got rid of that one, didn't he?
I mean, how bad could she have looked? I mean, it.
Wah, 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 wah. Oh, that's a pretty good one, right? I didn't even think about that. Hey, did you see Stevie Wonder's new limo, by the way? Speaking of Stevie Wonder?
No.
Yeah, neither has he. Oh, I know. He couldn't tell you what Ray Charles looks like, but Ray Charles could tell you what Stevie Wonder smells like. As they say, your other sentences get your other senses your other senses get heightened. When you lose one. So I guess that's the I guess that's the positive there.
Oh yeah.
About the injury out here on Crash, they had this portion shut down damn near for a year, and they opened it back up, and now they got lanes shut down again at the same damn spot. It's like, come on.
Yeah, are they? You're talking about the media section there, where they're working in the middle.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that has something to do with that pipeline that just came down 9 Mile.
Yeah, they ran all new sewage through the median. They ripped all the trees out.
Everything.
Thankfully, they planted new trees.
Yeah. There's another section where they're doing that too. I was at today earlier on the east side, and I can't remember exactly where the heck that was at. I was coming through Warren somewhere, man. They had the whole street just. Oh, it was by the. Oh God, dang it! Where was I? Oh, John R. and 696 area, somewhere around Madison Heights. John R. is a favorite street on a Pirates Day. Pirates Day is one of my favorite days, man. Talk like a pirate. I haven't been able to participate in the past few years, but
it's so shady up and down Gratiot. I've seen 2 news trucks sitting on in parking lots waiting for something to go down.
Waiting for something to break. Well, I might have some breaking news for the metro area. Let me see. Let me.
What do you got?
I don't know. Let me see. I've got an app for the local area. There's an app for that. It's called the Newsbreak
Hey,
app.
look at that. The Hebrew Memorial Park. Maybe we'll find our old boss buried there one day.
Quite possibly. That's a big community, and they look out for each other. Let's see what we got here.
Nobody else.
Yeah, so we got in Oakland County 10 hours ago, a 25-year-old Oakland County man was charged with ethnic intimidation in a road rage incident. Governor Whitmer, hundreds of illegal guns seized after police sweeps. This was 19 hours ago. This was yesterday. Bilbo Stabbins was back at it. 7 hours ago, a suspect accused of fatally attacking a woman outside a Bell Tire parking lot. I think this was out by where you're at now, Roseville. An armed and dangerous suspect believed to be involved. Mm-hmm. That was today or last night?
That was today. That actually shut down my kid's school for the entire day. They were on lockdown.
Yeah, they didn't want this asshole getting into the school and using one of the kids as a shield. See, I don't know why. Why do we not have plain clothes? We're going to send, I'm glad we brought this up, okay? Because here again, I'm going to tell you, your American family is under attack. From the children to the mom to the trans dad to the boss bitch mom, right? To the emotionally broken, underperforming statistic sitting in that seat, right? We can send how many troops to do this spearhead project in the Southwest region to be plainclothes practice and train in urban in an urban setting here, our own soldiers. Have we heard about this yet? You guys hear about that yet? There's going to be, and it's going to be very dystopian because you're not going to know who to talk to. You're going to get out there and not want to talk to any fucking buddy, right? But we can do that. But we can't get one of these assholes out in front of a school, can we?
Nope, seems not.
We can't get nobody in front of a school. Why the hell is that? Why is that,
Should have
man?
one sitting at a desk right inside the school, right? The only
You know, I mean, but what do we do now? Send our kids to some prison camp of a security system? You know, that's just totally.
unfortunately.
Learning should be done in a damn courtyard or a garden, even, or a garden, even. You know,
It would be nice, but unfortunately, we got too many people hell bent on killing kids for no reason.
man, they're killing them. They're taking their sexuality away. They're endorsing psychological disorders. Your family, the American family, is under attack. And just the way they handled this, again, even from my perspective, looking at what happened to your kid at school today because of this asshole who wants to be Bilbo Stabbins, it's pathetic that we have to worry about these things, man. I know, right? Bilbo Stabbins. He's like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Stabbins in England, right? They don't have guns over there, but boy, you're gonna get beat with a lead pipe, or you're gonna get Bilbo Stabbins. You're gonna meet Bilbo Stabbins there. They'll come at you with they'll do some Congo shit on you. They'll treat you like a bad.
Speaking of Bilbo Stabbins, did you realize that Spock, before he did Star Trek, did a song about Bilbo Baggins?
Yes,
back in the early 60s.
I knew that. Honestly, I knew that.
However,
what was his name again? Dang it, what was Leonard Nimoy? Spock as the Star Trek character did it, or he did it as Leonard Nimoy?
He did it as Leonard
Nimoy. Let's see if we can find this real quick. This would make me probably laugh.
YouTube it.
Oh, here it is. Here it is. You want to hear it? Let's see what we got here. Let's hear this. Here we go. We're going to get the audio on this. Here it is. Oh, with his pointy ears. It's actually done by Spock. That's hilarious. It's actually done by Spock. Did you hear that coming through over there? Can you hear that?
I can't hear it.
You got that now?
Nope. Yeah, it's not coming through on my end. So no big deal. But it's funny as hell. I've heard it.
Interesting. But yeah, that's it. We found it. Leonard Nimoy, The Ballad of Bilbo. The Ballad of Bilbo Baggins.
There you go.
Yeah, it does exist. That's pretty funny to see. He did some pretty corny things in his day. You'd think by the way he played Spock, like this would be a part of who he is. But it's easy to forget that these people are just actors. They're just trying to portray something, and it's like we're so easily fooled by these portrayals that we believe that these is actually how the people are. So it's probably nice for him to break out of the Spock thing. And like guys like Urkel, right? They get stuck playing these roles. Guys like Carlton, the Carlton role in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, that was in a lot of ways it was his claim to fame, but also in a lot of ways it was a downfall. You never get out of these roles. Leonard Nimoy, though, was a champ at breaking those expectations, wasn't he?
Well, the guy who played Carlton, which is Alfonso Ribeiro,
right?
He had his chance to break away from television because he was the kid that was in Silver Spoon.
Right. That's right. Yeah.
He did his childhood time, and then he decided to jump back into it. So,
right. Right.
He had his chance, but he returned.
Yep. Yeah, and it's good to see him back, man. Guys like him, obviously we all had a lot of fun watching the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. That's back when Will Smith was cool. Today not so much for the most part. He's a different person today. I'll tell you that. Will Smith is a different person today, I think, and he's had an entire life of fame and fortune, and I think Will Smith has allowed himself to become. Well, maybe he never really was connected. If you think about how young he was doing the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, who was Will Smith prior to that? You know what I'm saying? Who was Will Smith when he was 10?
He was, shit.
Yeah, right.
He was just a Fresh Prince.
Well,
You know, he did a couple of rap slash hip hop songs, whatever you want to call them, back in the day.
Yeah.
And
well, here is
that was it.
he's less than a year older than me. His real name is Willard Carroll Smith. Okay, the second. And what does that tell you? When you come with a name like Willard Carroll Smith the second, let me open up with that. if
He
that
sounds like royalty.
if that doesn't come with a silver spoon, is an American actor and rapper. And his rap was weak, all except for a couple of songs. He received multiple accolades, including an Academy Award and slapped Chris Rock. The BAFTA, because he's going to take a BAFTA this. Award and Grammy Awards of 2023. As of 2023, his films have grossed over 9.3 billion globally, making him one of Hollywood's most bankable stars. Right? Smith began an acting career starring as a fictionalized version of himself on the NBC sitcoms. So 90, right? His first gain recognition. So
Yep.
they missed everything. It's looked like they're missing everything before that. Early life. Here we go. Was born in September 5th, 60 in Philadelphia to Caroline Nee Bright, a school board administrator, and Willard Carroll Smith Sr., a U.S. Air Force veteran and refrigeration engineer. So his parents were smart. You know, and it sounds like they came with yeah. So his mother graduated from Carnegie Mellon University, so she made the loot. You know, especially for back in '68, man, all through the '70s and '80s, shit was cheap. He grew up in West Philadelphia, born and raised Winfield neighborhood, and was right. It's true. And he has an elder sister named Pamela and two younger siblings, twins Harry and Ellen. Private Catholic elementary school, Philadelphia. So he had because you know what? If he hadn't got that, you know where he'd be, on Kensington Street. I'll tell you that. His parents separated when he was 13. Yeah, and divorced around the year 2000. So wow, that was a long time. Smith began rapping at age 12 when his grandmother found a notebook of his lyrics, which she described containing as his life curse words. She wrote him a note on a page, blah, blah, blah. The rest is history. Kind of all went from there, and he just kind of went from there as an early rap artist, right? From 85 to 92, it was he rapped with DJ Jazzy Jeff. And the Fresh
DJ
Prince,
Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince.
Yep. Yep. You remember them. So yeah, and it goes on to explain more about his stint in eras, solo music film breakthrough, leading man status from 98 to 2007, 2008 to 2019 blockbusters, critical disappointments. So he's had a few failures, but he's had some great movies out there. I mean, like I Am Legend was great. You know, he's got some movies out there. I tell you, I connected with. You know, I'm not a Hollywood man, but every now and then, I do like to sit down and listen to a good story or watch a good movie. I mean, it's just it's a reason for me to kind of take a break. You know. Anyways, yeah, you are watching the Your Voice Talk Show on Station 8 at YouTube. We're moving in on the hour and 20-minute mark. I am your host, Alejandro. On the phone with me is Motown Mikey Mike, giving us the drive around report of the metro area. He's out there seeing and being. Yeah, just kind of carrying on, getting it all from Mike. We were going over the Biden, you know, right? Yeah, Biden. It should be bribing. Biden finally draws larger crowd than Trump in El Paso, Texas. I mean, he has been heaping praise on President Biden for probably drawing a larger crowd than former President Donald Trump, according to reports. Hundreds of thousands are gathering in El Paso, and it's all because of President Biden. These are truly historic numbers we are seeing. Trump could never get this many people, even at his biggest rallies, right? Gushed to CNN anchor Anderson Cooper. He was so proud of Trump, or so proud of Biden. This is an incredible moment for President Biden. He's clearly resonating with the American people, well, the people anyways, and it's clear that his policies are making real difference. Upon seeing the massive crowds, MSNBC's Rachel Maddow added, it just goes to show that people are hungry for real leadership and real strength. President Biden's clearly delivering on that front. Yeah, that's all he's doing is fronting. Many news sites praise the crowd for its youthfulness and diversity. Just look how young of a crowd Biden pulls, exclaiming they're all military, unaccompanied minors and military age men. Thanks to Biden, we're going to have all these new Democratic voters, right? When asked for comment, even Trump had to admit it was a tremendous and unbelievably large crowd of people that, to be quite frank with you, I could never draw. Believe me, that's quote Donald Trump. Finally getting accolades, pulling a large crowd. And you know what? I got let me see if I can pull a photo. I'm going to try and pull.
Yeah, before you go on, isn't Biden kind of like that old man at the parade that's throwing candy to the little kids? Of course, they're all jumping around him.
You know how everybody got motivated and got to be here at one time, don't you? Joe Biden said this. He goes, immigrants, I got some free votes in the freezer in my basement. Ooh. Take your shirt off.
I got some free candy.
Make sure you take your shirt off when you cut my fruit from the lawn. Ooh. Yeah. Some popsicles. We got a warm popsicle for you downstairs. So some other stuff we got from the B tonight. Oh, hey, there's a cleanup plan in San Francisco for all the feces on the street. So the plan for San Francisco is to release monkeys onto the street to fling away all the poo, as monkeys like to do, right? In San Francisco, California, in an effort to finally clean up the streets, San Francisco announced they will release several packs of monkeys into the city to help fling away the poo. All right, and this is from the Beat. It is. I know, and it's a great story because I think it's a wonderful idea, and really, at that circus of San Francisco, having monkeys just kind of makes it a complete show. So I agree with that. I know they've San Francisco has been half-assedly done as a circus until this point. Right now, this is the last element missing in the circus of San Francisco is poo flinging monkeys. That's the solution. There's an environmental solution to all the turds and feces laying on the streets of San Francisco. Oh, don't say Muscle Beach because you can smell it, right? Like Tent City down there, man, where it's warm and nice this time of year. That's where everybody's living for free. They're being beach bums at our expense. These people get $600 a month on a free Obama phone on us. And this guy,
I gotta know what was the last pile that was the last straw. They decided to implement this.
Oh, what was the last pile that was the last straw? Well, let's see.
They really didn't seem to care about this shit laying around for all these other years.
Right. So John Hawkins tells us that he, as the director of the Department of Sanitation, we have lots of poo, and it's a match made in heaven, right? So Mr. Hawkins said the program will strategically deploy groups of monkeys to HPAs or high poo areas. The acronym is HPA, throughout the city. Each high poo area, HPA, will have its own designated team of monkeys for poo flinging, explained Mr. Hawkins. All the monkeys have been screened by the Department of Sanitation for throwing ability and love of poo. So I'm really proud of the crew we've assembled. And while many San Francisco residents welcome the news, residents of the Paseo Heights district were less than enthusiastic. This is primate gentrification at its worst, claimed one resident. A longtime resident. So we're literally taking the produce of our unsheltered residents and giving it to the monkeys. Also, monkeys don't have that great of a name. So don't ask me how I know, but I know. At publishing time, the monkeys had broken several windows with poo flinging, but fortunately, the buildings were all abandoned storefronts. So wrapping it up in San Francisco with the B. And coming to some solutions also. That's what this program's all about. You're listening to Your Voice Talk Show on YouTube. Hit us up at Twitter at Your Voice Talks, TikTok at Your Voice Talks, and solutions is the name of the game here, right? It looks like San Francisco finally got something going for them. Now, as soon as all the immigrants get there, they could just kick all their kids out of school and let the immigrants stay there in a military cot-style setup fashion. Which seems quite appropriate for this day and age. That's what we do with illegals is we house them in schools because our kids don't deserve to have that space that we pay for them, So that's kind of sad. Also, yeah. Also, this day in history. I don't know if you guys are interested in any of that stuff. I kind of like the. I kind of like the this year day in history. 1792. This is some bad news. The New York Stock Exchange was established when a group of 24 brokers. I think they meant to say brokens and merchants met by a tree on what is now Wall Street and signed the Buttonwood Agreement. If you don't know what that is, I recommend looking it up. The Buttonwood Agreement. Kentucky Derby in Churchill, 1875 on this day in Louisville, Kentucky, the first one. Yeah. In 1938.
I wonder what started that.
The Kentucky Derby?
Yeah.
A bunch.
You know what made a bunch of people get together and go, you know what? Let's race some horses.
Dude, the same thing that started the mud racing and rock crawling over rock bouncers, just because you can. It was fun.
Yeah, no shit.
It was fun. You know, back when they started this in 1875, it was like drag racing. It was the equivalent. It was equivalent of drag racing. So men have always done this shit. Like men, when trains were first coming down the railroad, right? When the steam locomotive first came out, men were racing it with their horses, going, "My horse is quicker. My damn horse with a feed bag is quicker." You remember? You ever seen photos?
Come on, kid! I got $20 on it.
You know, and they were doing that too. Because let me tell you, men drag racing anything they can, especially if it breathes fire and steam. Okay, and men gambling and taking bets on what they believe to be the winner of the pack or whatever the case may be in a deal. That is as old as prostitution. It's as old as history itself. It's as old as an adult human male has ever been. That's gone on forever for us dudes. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Let's get a little more up to date here. 1973. Televised Watergate hearings opened, headed by North Carolina Senator Sam Ervin. So that was the first, huh? And that was in history, the Watergate hearings. And they were talking about Operation Deep Throat, and we're still talking about it today. Even guys are still out there in search of, and speaking of Leonard Nimoy, he was the in search of guy, wasn't he? Join me as we go in search of. Oh, in 1987, an Iraqi warplane attacked the USS Stark in the Persian Gulf, killing 37 American sailors and wounding 62. I forgot about that one. In 2004, Massachusetts same-sex couples exchanged marriage vows for the first time in the United States in 2004, almost 20 years ago. That'll be 20 years in 2024.
Poor bastard.
Yeah, on this day in history. May 17th.
Poor guys didn't know what they were avoiding.
You know,
had to learn the hard way.
Dude, you know what I caught a lot of? I was skimming through a lot of articles and social media today, and the one thing I'm this could be this could be propaganda. It could be the left and right extremes of anything. And not necessarily just politics, but even a debate. Given the opportunity to manipulate, most people don't disappoint. You know what I'm saying? They're more than eager to get out there and do anything they can to gaslight you and make you believe that you should be seeing it their way. So
real quick, I am sitting in front of the Michigan Transit Museum. The Michigan Transit Museum is open to anyone who is interested in railroad history and like to help their various projects.
Oh, where exactly is that?
Built in 1859. A young Thomas Edison, who happened to be in the area apparently, saved the station's agent, small child, from certain death. The child was on the tracks in the path of a rolling boxcar, and he happened to push him out of the way.
Yikes.
So, in appreciation, the agent taught Thomas Edison telegraphy. So began Edison's short career in railroading.
Very interesting. Now, where's this thing located?
And this is off Cass Road, right coming out of Mount Clemens, just before Growth Fest.
Gotcha. Nice.
Pretty cool looking place. They restored it back to the 1859 specs.
Right.
I'll snap a picture of it.
Interesting.
It's over to you.
Interesting. Yeah. Maybe we'll do some more. Maybe I'll start making that a regular part of the segment of some kind of things to probably like Michigan is not really, unless you're into boating, hunting, snowmobiling, dirt bike riding, jeeping, in outdoor sports. Michigan is still the outdoor sportsman state for sure. But we don't have we've got a lot of history as far as nautical history, but railroad history in Michigan is something that you don't ever hear much about, you know. And maybe that's why they kind of did what they did. You know, Michigan is just kind of an offshoot. It wasn't like linking the country. You know, it's just another state that needed to have an artery of rail, you know.
Right.
Yeah. So
Yeah, check your phone. I just snapped a picture of it and sent it over to you.
gotcha. Well, we'll have to.
There's even an old school boxcar sitting here.
Oh, nice. I went someplace one time for a boxcar dinner. And that was a pretty interesting dinner date for sure. And it was kind of classy. It wasn't like some cheap diner or anything like that. It was just kind of a unique experience, designed to be a unique experience where you know, part of the car was a kitchen and it was very small seating, reservation only type deal. And this was out by Kalamazoo somewhere. They had a section of abandoned train rail and some trains stacked up on there, some diner cars and stuff like that, and turned it into a restaurant. And they made like in Michigan here, they have a rail to trail program where they're turning old railroads into walkable, bikeable, paved pathways or gravel ways that you can, you know, get through the mist. Like, you know, the one thing that I've always admired about people that work trains and run trains, engineers and guys that travel with these trains is some of the things they get to see, right? They get to see America from a perspective that most of us just do not, right? Because these guys take the back roads to everything. They cut through diagonally everywhere. You know, they see the backside of everything that's on the surface to us, in a sense, when it comes to America's transportation. You know, they go through valleys we won't ever see in a car or on a bike. They go through all these places we'll never see in the type of transportation that we're used to. You know, so I got to appreciate that, man. Not only the fact that railroad history is such a huge chunk of what set the standards to come in railroading and also in the building of this country. And we're at 153 here, coming up on the 2-hour mark at yourvoicetalkshow.com and on YouTube at Station 8 Productions. That's YouTube / at Station 8. Catch us on Twitter at Your Voice Talks and TikTok at Your Voice Talks. Following up here on the train discussion, if you're just now joining us.
I've come to realize how many discos are out this way. Oh my God.
Oh,
you need weed. This is the place to be.
I found the most disgusting establishment in Flint, Michigan. On I think it's Saginaw or Dordt. You know what the name of this place is? I don't know if they're gonna ban me for saying this because it just sounds so disgusting, right? The name of this place is called Liquor and Lollipops.
Liquor and Lollipops, nice.
Liquor and Lollipops. That just sounds.
Daddy, chill.
I can't, baby.
Daddy,
I can't.
chill.
Not right now, honey. Not right
Daddy,
now.
chill.
Stop it. I can't. It sounds so wrong. And yeah, she's got a lollipop. I'm not giving her liquor. She better be at least 21 though. Yeah, it just, dude, it makes my skin crawl to think about that name of this business drawing clientele. It just makes my skin like I don't even want to go in the bathroom of a place like this, right? Let alone anything else there. Like,
and you know this place is probably flooded with people, right?
It's probably flooded with a lot more of the stuff than people. I'll tell you what. Yeah, right. Yeah, it's probably you walk into the bathroom, it's gonna be the fucking toilets are probably clogged with toilet paper and jizz. You know, yeah, it's gonna be like going to the Velvet Touch where the floors are just slippery everywhere. What the fuck? You know, it's one of those things.
You know what they say, like when you're walking around Harpo's, there's another reason you're sticking to that floor.
Oh my God, Harpo's, dude. It's like you had Velcro for shoes and flooring. It was so nasty. It was so nasty. I swear to God, like Like I remember my first time into Harpo's and how bad that floor was. Literally blew my mind. I didn't want nothing to do with being in there. Although the show was great, the band was great, the atmosphere and the people were cool. However, it is way over there on the east side, off of 94. But
Yeah.
it was still a good time.
Do you
But
remember who you saw?
it was a local band, man. I can't remember. I want to say the last time I was there. Oh, who was that? Dude, this was back in the early 90s, so I'm going to have a hard time remembering who that was. I barely even remember leaving the place. Like,
You're bombed.
Yeah, I was shit-faced, man. And that's basically the same story for me when Kiss came to town with Alice in Chains at Detroit Tiger, the Tiger Stadium.
Oh,
Yeah, last thing I remember was burning one with Sebastian Bach as he showed up in a Jaguar with his old lady. Of course, the dude's a foot taller than everybody else. He looked like some kind of weird stick figure breaking his way through the crowd, and everybody was cool. It was so cool to have him have this dude, Sebastian Bach, walking around that field across from Gate 13, just partying with everybody in the damn lot. Because I tell you, I showed up early that day, man. I showed up early, and I got all the sound checks. Just like the sound, because the old Tiger Stadium was like a bowl, basically, right? It had these big, tall, tiered walls all the way around. Well, man, when Alice in Chains did sound check, they had it turned up so loud, like in the parking lot across the street behind Trouble, away from Trouble, more west, right? On that first block where the side, remember all the ABC and news trucks would set up along the old Tiger Stadium? Yeah, if you're looking at the freeway in the lot towards the left, they had a big empty lot over there, towards the buildings down, obviously. Dude, it came out of there so powerful and strong, and they sound checked with Goddamn, the song Goddamn. If you're not familiar with that one, you should give it a listen.
Oh, yeah. Chains was my group back in the day.
Dude, the guitar riffs have all the meat, right? Like, if Arby's thinks they got all the meat, it's because they're buying it from Alice in Chains, because that's got all the meat, right? And man,
I got to give mad props to Jerry Cantrell, by the way, because
good heavens, of course,
he played all those guitar riffs on himself, on his own. He didn't have a rhythm guitar. He kept that beat.
It was a 3-piece and it was thick. That whole band was thick.
Yeah, it was a 4-man band, but it was Lane Staley singing and Jerry Cantrell and
a bass player and a drummer. Yeah, 3 instruments.
Drummer.
3 instruments. Yeah, that's what we call it. With a singer, we call that a 3-piece in the business. A power trio, basically. Yeah. Rush was the same way. Power trio. You got drums, bass, guitar. And
that's a power trio.
Yeah, I grew up playing power trio music. And let me tell you, man, when you do that and something doesn't sound right after year, you learn how to fill the air, in a sense. You learn how to make things thick. You learn how to fatten those guitar riffs and play a bass chord instead of plucking notes, and these kind of things. You learn how to fill the air. You write cymbals differently. You do beats and grooves differently. So let me tell you, playing a 3-piece power trio like Alice in Chains did, along obviously 4th instruments, the vocal, the voice has always been an instrument and always will remain to be an instrument. Those guys blew me away, and they were in the 90s. That was just I still have all their CDs. I got all their stuff digitally, and some of my favorite stuff to go back to and listen to, man, reminisce on those times of my life. Alice in Chains, and maybe we'll get on maybe we'll do an episode including some music. What do you think about that, Mike? I think we're all big music fans, huh? I'm gonna say good night to Gina Rosas, who's been hanging out with us all night here. Thank you so much, Gina. It's good to have you here.
Good night, Gina.
Yeah, and I'll give you a call tomorrow. I know there's probably some things she wanted to talk about, being my sister and all. She's always welcome here on the Your Voice Talk Show. She's been making a lot of comments. And she also believes that this world has been disturbing since the beginning of time, and she loves cake, right? And not only that, Gina knows my mama. Well, yeah. My parents, Ricky and Lucy, as well. Oh, you know what? That's so funny, because sis, I took a picture of Lucille Ball today. I sure did. She graced the cover of a magazine, and Lucy has always been Lucy and Carol Burnett. are my inspiration and my love for redheads that I've known. Out of the most playful women, the most lighthearted women in my life that I've ever known, and on a famous level, have been Carol Burnett and I Love Lucy, and I love them both dearly, and I couldn't help but take a picture of that beautiful woman today on the newsstand because she deserves every cover. And look how you know what I'm going to tell you right now. Like I just caught the tail end of the thing to Lucy, right? But even today in 2024, I Love Lucy. Lucille Ball had such an impact that she's still gracing the cover of all the mainstream magazines. That's so impressive.
She was cutting out.
Yeah, and she was hot. If you ever noticed Lucy,
Yeah.
I mean, look how graceful and elegant she actually is physically. You know, she really was an elegant woman. Outside, you know, when you take away all the jokes and the silliness and all the things that she's famous for, the Lucille Ball as a woman was every bit adult human female. And on
I
that,
kind of wonder. I wonder how many loads Ricky Ricardo shot on her face.
probably quite a few, as many as he possibly could. I don't think he had a choice. I don't think he had a choice. So on that note, we're going to close it out. We are on the 2-hour mark. You've been hanging out with Mikey Mike and Alejandro, your host here on the Station 8 Your Voice Talk Show. Thanks to everybody that's been joining us tonight and everybody that's hung out. Thanks to Gina R. It's been a pleasure. Thanks for all the input. And we miss you to our other people who would normally sit in with us. But we've been covering the topics, and we're going to set us up for our next upcoming stream. It's going to be on this Sunday at 6 p.m. Hopefully it's a good time, and hopefully you guys had a good time listening to me tonight. I know I've had a good time listening to me tonight because I sound better than anything or anyone else. I know that's not true. No, I'm actually having a hard time doing this, man. But you know what? I'm gonna fight all my woes and worries and work past all everything that's been stage fright. Like I said, you know, I've played live music for a long time, and I do karaoke. And even today, when I get off the stage on karaoke, man, my anxiety is through the roof. Like I'm sweating, palms all, you know, sweaty. Mom's spaghetti on my sweater already. You know, kind of situation. I really, when Eminem saying all that, man, I know exactly what he's going through. I know the trust me, the anxiety, and I put myself through it on a regular basis, especially again, like I said, with karaoke. Not so bad playing live music, but and then this doesn't give me that. I just got to get used to seeing me in this capacity. I've never done it before. You know, I've always been observed and never been the observer in some regards. But here I am sitting with this screen of me in front of me. You know, trying to keep an eye on what camera angles we get. Right, running and producing. I'm also producing the show in Studio A of Station 8 here in Metro Detroit. So thank you, everybody. We're going to close it out. And a big thank you to everyone. We hope you enjoyed the show. And we will see you Sunday. Say goodbye, Mike. I'll talk to you later, buddy.
Good night, Mark Clemens.
Good night, everybody. Peace. And we're out.
Be good, everyone.
people out there in 2023. Hang in there. You're not alone. I don't know why everyone turned gay. I don't make America straight again. To all the straight people out there in 2023, hang in there. You're not alone. For all the straight people out there in 2023, hang in there. You're not alone. For all the straight people out there. For all the straight.
T-Tech Beats.
high.